What if Nintendo expanded the current state of villager dialogue into 3 dimensions for this next Animal Crossing without using AI? So in this third and final part of our podcast here, I want to talk about the 3-dimensional villager expansion plan that I have for Animal Crossing Small Town Big City. So let's go through each of those dimensions. The first layer is going to be personality. This is what already exists in the game. So this is your snooty, peppy, jock personality. And I was able to add a total of 12 personalities. So we'll talk through those. The second layer is aspirations. So this is something like a little bit more of a step up than hobbies. There's 24 specific aspirations that villagers can have. And then finally, the third and final level is their dream. And these dreams are a specific goal and dream that each villager has that makes them completely unique from each and every other villager. So they may have the same aspiration, but they do not have the same dream. So each villager has a programmed dream and final conclusion of their story arc, if you will. And we're about to go through this right now. I'm so excited. I added a couple extra types that I felt like would make sense for the current villagers in the game, which is parental, lone wolf, artistic, and brainiac. That's 8 returning and 4 new. These 12 personality types mark the basic structure of dialogue with every villager character. Designing these characters and making them feel real, villagers were just friendly to you off the bat. They've never seen you before, and yet they want to be your best friend. But that's just not realistic whatsoever. Like, when you talk to a parent, they're gonna scold you. Like, hey, you've been out too late. Like, what are you doing out? Like, you're gonna catch a cold, grab a jacket. You're moving into a new town for the first time. But in this storyline, they have not seen humans in this town for a long time. And there's some hurt that's happened there because the humans have all moved away to join the big city, where leaving them and their small town to kind of fall apart. And so the first time seeing a human, you gotta believe that there's gonna be some negative responses or some surprised responses to this, revelation. And so that kind of plays into the greater storyline of what Animal Crossing Small Town Big City could be, and what I would hope that they would do for the next Animal Crossing is just make it more realistic when it comes to their interactions. It can only get better from there, though. So let's break open the second layer. So once you start to break that hard exterior, you kind of get to know them a little better and you help them in a couple ways, but then layer 2 kind of breaks open the aspiration portion. I wanted to make villagers that lived their lives in the way that you'd want to play the game. So there's a lot of different people that are going to play Animal Crossing, but we all play for different reasons. And the one that inspired me the most was collectors, because I think like a lot of people will play Animal Crossing to finish the museum. But a lot of people recently, the reason for playing the game has been to create this beautiful town, and that has just kind of fallen to the wayside. But there's this group of people who still play the game that way, or they want to make fashion, or they want to sell their items, or they want to get closer with their villagers. Like, everybody has a reason for playing Animal Crossing. So what if there were villagers that kind of played the game in the same way that you do, in a very unique way? And so that is what inspired Aspirations. So I kind of started with 2 characters, Zell and Hazel, and kind of worked out what their characteristics would look like. And Zell is on the night town, and he seemed pretty cool, and he had like this jazzy kind of room, and I thought like he could be a cool character to see, like, want to be a jazz musician in the big city. And so I kind of ran with that, and like I feel like he'd be a very social person. He'd want to make a lot of connections, talk to a lot of people. I thought that would be so cool to just see him start as, somebody who is cold to you, to somebody who you're getting to know. Then you get to find out what their aspiration is, what drives them in their life. And then as you grow deeper and deeper, he'll reveal his dream to you. This just brings in just this beautiful, like, humanity to the game that I feel like that emptiness of New Horizons was missing. So getting to know each villager will slowly start to reveal these aspirations to you. They will start to ask you like to do some tasks, like a mission or item that they'd like you to get them. One thing I hated about New Horizons, and I will use the word hate because it was the most annoying thing, I just get done editing in my room and I get that knock on the door and it's my neighbor, and I don't even like this neighbor, and all of a sudden they're over and you gotta like go somewhere real quick, but then you gotta clear them out and then you get to leave. Like, I want to be able to choose, like in past games, like, hey, like, when are you available? Okay, 9 p.m. Okay, I'll come over at 9 p.m. And then there was like this element of like, oh my gosh, I gotta go visit my villager. I totally forgot about my plans. And then they would like remember that you forgot, and it would be so sad. There could be a time with your smartphone if you wanted to, like, bing, oh, I gotta meet my villager in 15 minutes. The Nook phone like makes a notification pop up. Like, this could be something that's relevant and important again, is visiting your villagers or having them pop over to your space and like actually having like a full hangout time that makes sense for you because you're at that friendship level with them. And you actually do want to connect and like build that relationship so that you can get them to their dream quicker. So the main point with villagers is you want to be able to get them to that third level, and that's their dreams. So what a dream is, it's something that each and every villager deeply wishes to fulfill that uniquely sets their wants and goals apart from every other villager. So this is the uniqueness factor, that no two villagers will have the same dream. Each one of those will set them apart and will get that different dialogue. Let's use our other example, Hazel once again. Her dream is to collect craft supply to make cards for friends. So her, you know, as a collector, she may ask you to, oh, I want some craft supplies or something like that. But then once you unlock that dream state where you can start fulfilling the dream, that dialogue is going to change to, hey, I made this card. Like, she normally wouldn't talk about cards, but now she's talking about it all the time. So some of the most memorable interactions with your villagers will happen here because they're just so unique. So once your friendship with each villager grows larger, they will outright share their dream with you, and they will tell you, this is my dream. And now you're responsible for helping them fulfill their dream. So when they share this with you, it will register on their icon in the town map, so you can track the dream. So you can hover over their name and it'll reveal their dream to you anytime that you want. So if you forget, once they've revealed it to you, you can just come back and, you know, see it again. And they're also going to talk about it all the time now. They're going to ask a request for you that's specifically going towards their dream. The foodie is going to give you food, and they're going to ask for food all the time. They may want you to craft special recipes that you never did before, which will add extra time to the game that you need to spend. So while two villagers may have the same personality and aspiration, their dream is always going to be unique. There's always two fulfilled paths that villagers can walk on when it comes to fulfilling their dreams. The first path is a path that betters their small town. So this is going to impact local culture. This is going to be like, they want to impact fashion, or they want to make the town look beautiful, or they want all different kinds of hybrid trees or flowers in their town. So that's going to be the path that impacts their, you know, your personal life in the game. And when you help them fulfill that, you're actually going to get a hand-delivered letter and an exclusive gift. More on that gift in just a second. The second possible path is they're actually going to move away and they're going to pursue their dream in the big city. Once they get there, they will mail you this exclusive letter and gift once they get there. And the great thing is you can still continue to talk to these villagers via letter, and you can also visit them in the big city anytime to see them actually living out the dream that you got to help them develop. So I think that's super cool and exciting. So this dream reward, there is a reward for helping these villagers fulfill their dreams. And I'm going to tell you, this is an exclusive item that is not available any other way in the game. It's almost like a personalized experience of Animal Crossing every time that you're playing. So these items are actually priceless. You can actually not trade these items with any other players in the game. So if your friend comes over, you cannot drop this item. They cannot pick it up. You can't sell it to the shops because they recognize that this item does not even belong to you. It's something that was gifted to you, and so therefore it cannot be sold. It adds to the uniqueness and the specialness about that relationship that you made with that villager, so that no matter what, like, this is something that you earned. It's like a trophy that you got, and you get to have this in your town, and there gets to be bragging rights. I mean, some of these items aren't just going to be like little dinky things. Like, these are going to be huge items or special items that when you go to your friend's town, it's going to be like, how did you get that? Just like you said. And I worked really hard for this, and this is what I got in return. So I think that's super unique, and it just adds such a personalized experience to the game. Finally, we talked about the plan for small town, big city, what I would love Nintendo to do to expand these villagers, not into one dimension, but into 3 total dimensions. But I want to end on a fun note and talk about what are some new villager types that we could possibly see in this next game. The one that I think that makes the most sense, and we already have one in the game, is an otter. Everybody loves otters. They're so cute, one of my favorite animals, and so I think having a bunch of new otters in the game as villagers would be just amazing. A corgi. I think corgis are very popular dogs as well, especially in like Japan. And so I think corgi would be a great natural conclusion to add a new dog type to the game. Then I think having a salamander subtype as well would add more like lizards in the game. We only have a few of those. And then surprisingly, we don't have any fox villagers as well. We have a kitsune, which is red, crazy red. But he's a type of fox, but we don't actually have like a fox character in the game. And so I think that having a fox villager would be incredibly cute and incredibly great. And then the last one that I thought of, and I've seen this in other concepts for villagers, but having a bat villager in the game, specifically a fruit bat, because fruit bats are really, really cute and cuddly. So I think in this next game, we need to have at least 1 or 2, if not a bunch more villager animal types to enjoy the game and have a different variety of villagers to add to the game. Guys, make sure you check out this document. There's a lot more information that we didn't share, including pictures of all these concepts that I think will help illustrate these, as well as a bunch of villagers that I've already planned out what their personalities, what their aspirations, what their dreams, and what gifts they'll give you in the end will be. You guys have a great day. This has been the Nintendo Didn't So We Did podcast. Check us out on both YouTube and Spotify for more content on Animal Crossing Small Town, Big City.